passage I want to reflect upon with you today is from the chapter on prayer. So number 49, paragraph 2. It's about the Liturgy of the Hours. The text reads, "Let us celebrate worthily the Liturgy of the Hours, to which the Church binds us in virtue of our profession, in order to share in the eternal hymn of praise brought into the world by the incarnate Word, and to blend our voices with that of the Church, speaking to Christ, her bridegroom. This is a foretaste of the praise that unceasingly resounds before the throne of God and of the Lamb." The Liturgy of the Hours is a very important part of our life. You know, as men of religious brothers, men in consecrated life, one of the things we say we're going to do is to be men of prayer. And one way that we can be men of prayer, men of constant prayer, is to be faithful to the hours. So this text I just read talks about by virtue of our profession. So we commit ourselves to this life, we commit ourselves to the daily Eucharist, and one way we commit ourselves to praying is through the hours. If you remember one of the letters of St. Paul, he exhorts his audience to pray without ceasing. One way to pray without ceasing is to keep God in our minds throughout the day, and to always be cognizant of His presence in our midst. Another way is to mark time throughout the day, and that's what the hours give us. So that at distinct times throughout the day, we pause, we gather ourselves, we gather our thoughts, and we pray the hour according to what the Church has given us, praying the Psalms, offering up prayers, and praying reading from the Scriptures. So I think we really have to be serious about holding on to this tagline of being a man of prayer, because that's what we're called to be. And when people come to us, they already see that, and they're expecting us that we'll continue to grow in that. Last spring, we had a wonderful recollection weekend with Father Mario from Puerto Rico. And one thing he said has stuck with me. He does a lot of work with diocesan priests. And when he talks to some priests who've left the priesthood, one of the themes or one of the problems that had arisen in their lives, he said, "Father Mario, I just stopped praying." When he said that, I had to pause and think, that's, how often in my own life do I just stop praying for a little bit? Cardinal Tim Dolan, wrote a book about 15 years ago. I think many of us have come across it, called Priest for the Third Millennium. Some of the younger guys, we read that in postulancy. He says a similar thing. He encounters some priests, and they're struggling with their vocation. One of the reasons is they stop praying the hours. So, as friars, we're men of prayer, and to keep this constant prayer, and to keep us striving after God, which is our life's calling. The Liturgy of the Hours is a great way to do that. On a practical level, the Liturgy of the Hours forces me to stop what I'm doing, take a physical rest, get my thoughts together, and do a short examine for my day. How are things going? How am I treating people? Am I trying to do too much? So before and after saying one of the hours, you can take some time to reflect and just to give your body some rest. Because we know how easy it is to get caught up in everything we have to do, everything we want to do. So I think on a practical level, the hours are good because it helps us to slow down and just relax for a little bit, take some time to be with God and to pray to Him. I have a hard time trying to pray the hours every day. But one thing that helps me, the last 2 summers ago, I was reading a book by Fulton Sheen called The Priest is Not His Own. Throughout that book, he has a lot of insights into what it means to be a priest. The things you do, the physical things you do, kind of how you live, what you wear, all that kind of stuff. And he has some chapters on prayer. And in one of the chapters, he talks about the divine office, the Liturgy of the Hours. And he acknowledges how it can be difficult to be faithful to this task. So one suggestion he gives to his readers, and I share with you, is for each hour, or maybe for the whole day, for each of the hours, bring an intention. Father Paul is always encouraging us to pray for each other. So maybe one of the hours or for the whole day, you can bring a brother who's struggling and say, I'm going to bring him here to you, Lord. When I pray this hour, I want to really offer him to you and to take care of him. So bring a person, bring a situation. We're always praying for peace and justice in the world. We're always praying for an end to violence and war. You can always bring that to one of the hours for the whole day. So I think that helps me, and I think maybe that can help you in trying to be faithful to the hours. So just in closing, I want to say that the Liturgy of the Hours is a beautiful tool for us to grow closer to God. Our lives as friars is to do that, is to be in union with God, to be in constant prayer, and to love Him more dearly each day so that we can love the brothers we live with and love the world. So if we can develop a good habit